Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James. I'm going to go ahead and do a recap over Game 3 for the San Antonio Club Championship 2023. Here we go. In this first game, it's actually a game I played as white against one of our local favorites, Logan Smoot. And, well, man, I was just doing terrible out the opening. This was a London system. Apparently, he knew this opening very, very well. As you can see, I am just suffering in this position. Let's see how it goes. At this point, I had just played pawn e3 because he's done it in a great job by building up this pawn armada over here and trying to open up on the queen side. As you can see, I did not get much progress done over here on the king side. And so he starts pushing forward. Knight a5, not a bad idea here. Looking to jump to knight to b3. A very good outpost for the knight. And here I went ahead and made the decision. With b4 coming and all these other ideas, I decided to go ahead and try and open this up because, well, I didn't want b4 to happen at least so easily. So I went ahead and played d takes c5. And he played knight to b3, a nice intermezzoa or an in-between move. Rook over to b1, and now he took on c5. And here, because, well, when your opponent has more space, you should try to make some trades. I went ahead and played knight to d4. And here, well, he knocked me off my chair and played a very interesting sacrifice. He went ahead and played bishop takes on a3. Now, I'm not saying that this is winning by force, but it is very, very interesting. In fact, if you do take back, it is winning by force. After pawn takes, knight takes on c3. Well, you're going to be getting two pawns, and you're going to be grabbing the exchange, along with this beautiful, beautiful fork over here. And, well, these rooks are going to look really good over here with the pawns pushing forward. In fact, you even have to be careful with f6 and e5 in the air, too. So with that being said, I did not take back right away. I went ahead and added in my own in-between move. Knight takes on b3. He went ahead and took back. And here I was struggling to find the right move here. And I really wanted to play rook to a1 here to try and pin it and win it. But here he would have the very nice idea of knight takes on c3. And after pawn takes, you could play rook takes on c3. And these pawns are looking very, very strong with an open c file over here. Especially a strong idea like rook c1. Computer says this is equal. I will say that I was not too happy with this kind of looking position. With that being said, I did find another idea that I thought was very good. I went ahead and just played pawn to f3, kicking the knight away. And now we have two pieces that are hanging, and you can't really sacrifice on c3 right away, at least without me winning the b3 pawn. Well, he went ahead and played bishop takes on b2. I took on e4. He took on c3. And then queen takes on b3. At this point, I thought I was just winning. And at this point, well, computer does say this is about equal. But in a few moves, things get a little bit crazier, as I guess as usual in a chess game. Here he went ahead and played b4. A nice idea defending the bishop, but also attacking the rook. I played another nice move here, rook to a2. Make sure I attack the queen. I want to try and take on d5. He played over queen to b6. And here I played pawn takes on d5, which apparently was not best. I mean, at this point, I think we both had around like 5 to 10 minutes each, so we were both playing pretty fast. Rook takes on d5, and here I saw the idea that g5 could happen, and well, they're going to go ahead and remove the defender here for the bishop and win the e3 pawn. I went ahead and played knight to g4, and he spotted it, and he went for it. Pawn g5, bishop g3, h5, knight to h2, queen takes on e3 check, bishop f2, and now queen to f4. At this point, I am a little bit worse now just because of all the different pawns over here. There's a really big pawn mass. That one pawn was really important for the game. Although I am up this extra piece, well, the pawns are about even. Plus, this pawn's worth quite a bit because this is a passed pawn over here. I went ahead and played knight to f1, stopping this bishop e5 idea from happening. He played rook over to d8. And then here, believe it or not, I made my blunderful move of the game. I went ahead and played queen to c2. At this point, it is now black to move and get into a winning position. Everything else is just about equal here. So if you want to, go ahead and push pause. See if you can put me into a very bad position. All right, hopefully you push pause, try to figure it out. What was the move here? Believe it or not, it is the amazing rook over to d2, forking the bishop and the queen over here. Notice that this other rook is over here too, right? And, well, there's just no good move here. I have to give up my queen for the two rooks. Mind you, usually giving up a queen for the two rooks here is not going to be best. So I have to play knight takes d2. Obviously, I don't take with the queen first. So knight takes on d2, rook takes on d2. And I have to trade here because, well, if I don't, then it's going to be checkmate over on here on f2. And then, well, check and then checkmate on g2. But take on f2 and then win on g2 here. And it is just game over here. So I have to go ahead and sacrifice the queen. And bishop takes on d2. And like I said, typically this is not such a big deal because, you know, two rooks equal out a queen, but it is this pawn armada that is so bad for me. And at this point, it is a negative 0.5, a negative 5. So I was very, very happy to go ahead and draw this position. Rook over to b2, g4. He does the right idea. He's trying to get pawns up here and trying to crowd me. Pawn takes, g3. Queen over e4. At this point, he did grab the queen and almost dropped it on d6, which would have been a very easy win for me now with the rook over to d1, and now just winning the piece. Unfortunately for me, he did see it right in time, and he hoovered with his queen, and he went ahead and played queen e4. Obviously, now I can't take on d2, because then, well, he's just going to go ahead and take my rook over here on b1. All right, here we go. Rook over to d1, bishop c3, rook over to b1 again, queen c4. He has a very easy plan here. He's just going to push the pawn down my throat over here on the b file. Rook check, king over, rook over to b8, queen over to a2. At this point, there really is no good way to stop this pawn from moving forward. Trying to blockade with the rook might have been an idea to keep playing for a win, but at this point, I decided to try and cash in my chips and try to go for a draw here. So what do you play? Rook takes on b4 here. Here, a bishop and a rook can create a blockade against a queen. Well, of course, he took back. Rook takes, queen to d5, and this was the problem. He might have been able to play for a win a lot easier if he hadn't dropped the pawn, but after queen to d5, rook takes g4 check, it is going to be a lot easier to draw here, as these pawns cancel out as far as trying to get him down the board, and then this rook and bishop can create a blockade for this pawn. There are some blockading chances. With that being said, we were both low on time. I had about a minute. He had about 2 or 3. And, well, he was very happy with the draw, so we ended up just drawing by repetition at this point. He offered me a draw, and I happily accepted. All right, on to the next one. It was Ed Paul versus the other Lozano. And, well, this one was another very fun one. And, well, Rodolfo went ahead and played pawn to e5 move. A very interesting move here, attacking the knight. I won't say it's the best move, but it is definitely an interesting move here. I don't like the idea of giving yourself a backwards pawn, but maybe the idea was if the regular line got played, like knight dd2, maybe he's going to play d5 in the future. With that being said, Eddie was not up for it, and he went for the attack with knight to f5 check here. Okay, if you don't take, you're just losing. Pawn takes, queen to g5 check, king h8, and queen takes on f5. I'm not sure what he saw here. At this point, it looks like everything is pretty much safe. And, well, Rodolfo kicks back very, very hard here. And the queen actually gets lost very fast. Let's take a look. Here, rook g8 was played. A very nice tempo attacking over here on the g2 pawn. Eddie went ahead and played queen to h3. Already the queen is in trouble. Notice the simple g4 move. And, uh-oh, you just lost your queen. Black to move. What do you play? Simple chess. Just attack the queen. Bishop c8. And there is no square for the queen to run to. Okay, back to the game. Here the queen ran to h3, which makes sense because, well, we can play pawn g4 in the future and start pushing our pawns up. By no means is the game over just yet. Knight h5 was played. Bishop c4, a nice tempo move to attack the f7 pawn. Yet again, the queen is harassed, and again, the queen is just going to be trapped here. All right, black to move. Feel free to push pause if you want to see if you can find a way to trap this queen. All right, hopefully push pause. What was the move here? Here, knight f4 got played to attack the queen and the g2 pawn. This is important because, well, the queen has to run forward now, which is going to make it trapped. If the queen ran to h2, well, the queen's still trapped with rook takes on g2, and believe it or not, the queen is trapped here. So, the queen ran to f5 here, and the same thing happens. Bishop c8. Queen takes on f7. Again, there's just nowhere for the queen to move to. g5's taken. h5's taken. Oh my gosh, just every single square here is taken. The only thing you could try here is to play queen takes on f7. Maybe the queen can escape here. This bishop c4 move was the only move that the queen could have ran to, which would have been over to c4. But unfortunately, the queen was blocked by the bishop c4 move. And here, well, last move, black just went ahead and played rook to f8. Eddie went ahead and tried a desperado with rook takes on d6, but after queen takes on d6, everything is still guarded, and again, the queen is just trapped. Very nice game by Rodolfo. All right, on for our last one. This one was David Pacheco versus strong 1700 Jackson Steven. And, well, at this point, well, what do you guys think about this position? I know I was very happy about this, at least if I'm playing from the white side. And here, the computer agrees it's already a +6 position. Although the king is a little bit opened up, white's pieces are just far more active, and it's really hard for black to get into the game. And, well, here, unfortunately, he makes a bad decision. He goes ahead and plays Oh, I'm sorry. Knight g5 got played. A very good move. And I think one of the reasons why this is such a strong move is because it's putting pressure on f7, but also on e6. In fact, I don't see a good way to not be losing heavy material here. With that being said, Steven does make the bad move here and plays. Bishop takes on c3. Pawn takes on c3. So now he's lost his last bishop, but also he opens up the b file over here to attack his own king. And now, well, I guess he just realized he was in such a bad position. He went ahead and just sacrificed here. With that being said, again, there's just nothing really good to do. If you try to play something like knight f8 to guard, well, it doesn't matter. Pawn takes on e6, but the real idea is knight to f7 over here. As the rook is protecting, again, it's just going to be forking these rooks. So you're either going to be losing some pawns, or you're going to be losing the exchange over here. So, well, Steven, I guess, went for it. He went ahead and played knight takes on e5. Not something I recommend, but it was a very interesting try here for him. And, well, it looks like David just did not want to go along with this idea, and he goes ahead and plays f takes on e6, which apparently is the best move here. Taking on e5 is a move which is still winning, but it does give black lots of counterplay. After something like queen takes on e5, knight takes on f7, well, again, queen to e4 check. Black will still have some play in this position. And you're going to have to trade down to an endgame here because you definitely don't want to play your king over g1 as after rook over to g8. Now black is the one winning. So back to the game. After this, knight takes on e5. David plays the best move, f takes on e6. Another move here I hear someone saying was bishop to f4. You are correct. This was another good way to play. With that being said, pawn takes on e6, rook over to f8. E takes on f6, queen to e7 here. Oof. D takes on e5. Now is the right time to take. Queen takes. Here we're just up some extra material here. And, well, David just finishes up the job nice and clean. You want to play bishop d4, but you can't just yet because of the pin. So, simple chess. Let's go ahead and add this check in. Oof. Notice the king cannot go to b8 for safety as bishop f4 will pin it and win it. So, back to the game. King to d8 gets played. And now, well, bishop d4 was definitely winning. Here, David finds an even stronger move with knight to e6 check, king over to e7. And here, I definitely would have been looking at bishop g5 check here, but David just goes ahead and takes on f8, queen to e4 check. Trading queens at this point is not going to help. I'm sorry, Steven. Queen takes on e4, pawn takes, and bishop to h6. At this point, Steven just went ahead and resigned. All right, guys, we are in for a great show. The next game is three people are tied for 2.5. That's Philip. We have me, Smoot, and then Rodolfo is the only person with the perfect score with 3.0. So the top two boards are going to be very interesting to watch for the last round. And, of course, I will do a recap at the end. Okay, guys, don't forget to give us that like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.